So, it's amazing how good of a team Georgia looks like when Carson Beck is not throwing the ball to the other team. So it felt good to see Carson Beck look draftable for a game. For finally in the game, like the last 6 weeks, he looks draftable. I know a lot of people are going to jump on the Carson Beck is the number one quarterback train after he had one solid game. He had a good game, solid game, good game. But I need him to be more consistent. And when you can't have 5 or 6 bad games where you throw in multiple picks in a game and then have one good game, I'm off your head. Come on your head, boy. You gotta be more consistent. Whether you at Georgia or not, if you the number one quarterback, you gotta be the difference maker. I don't care how hard the season is. I don't care how strong the strength of schedule is. You got to be the best player on the field. If you're the number one quarterback, you can't be the reason we almost losing. So, but shout out to Carson Beck, man, for taking the criticism from me, from other people, from the media, from you, from everybody. So shout him out for taking that criticism. Shout out to Kirby Smart for standing by his quarterback, and shout out for that team for lifting him up and help carrying him through. So we're gonna check out what Joel Clay got to say about the Georgia Bulldogs situation. I think it's insane. I think we are in the driver's seat for the most part. A lot of people wrote us off. I was about to say righted it. A lot of people wrote us off. So we're gonna see what Joel Clay say about it. Let's get it. Like I say, man, like not only has Carson Beck been wildly inconsistent throughout this entire season, but so has the Georgia Bulldogs. Sometimes defense is up, sometimes defense is elite, and then sometimes defense just average. And when the defense is average, can Carson Beck carry us through? And for a couple games this year, he hasn't been able to carry us through. He also been kind of some of the reasons. He's been also the reason we probably lost 2 games. This is the problem I have with a lot of the mainstream, because they have to say certain things to keep people happy or whatever. But we got to stop making excuses for these quarterbacks. They didn't play up to his level. Carson Beck is a reason. Yeah, there have been drops, but a lot of those drops because Carson Beck is not throwing the accurate football, man. And a lot of that time he wasn't pressured. He's been pressured and all that stuff, but we've got to stop making excuses for these quarterbacks, man. They get paid way too much money. Even at the college level, they're getting paid way too much money to get absolved of all the blame. You know what I'm saying? If you get all the credit, all the money, all the glory, hey, brother, when we ain't playing, well, it can't just be everybody else's fault. It can't be just the drops. Because y'all gave him all the credit last year. We had Brock Bowers and Lanky and Ladd McConkey and, all these Darnell Washington. He had a lot of weapons over the last couple of years, man. So we got to stop blaming the other players because the quarterback is inefficient. We got to stop doing that, man. Carson Beck needs to play better. Carson Beck played better, so they look better. That's just what it is. We got to stop making excuses for these quarterbacks, man. I swear.
I think
Ohio State has the athlete advantage too, though. I can't let you get slide with Ohio State. They play a weak schedule. They play weak teams, and they have the best players on both sides of the football. So Ohio State is not a good example.
Georgia's probably the same way, as long as their wide receivers are playing well. Texas can do that.
Georgia has played a much tougher schedule than Ohio State. I will not let you do that. I will not let you do that. We will not compare Ohio State season to Georgia, man. No, we will not do that. Ohio State ain't playing nobody. Ohio State way too high. I don't think Oregon number one either, because Oregon has almost lost a lot of close games to non-conference teams, FCS teams. I think Oregon too high. I think Ohio State too high. Let me move this out the way, man. Hold on. I think let me get this out the way. Yeah. So I think Oregon too high. I think Ohio State too high. Texas too high. Indiana just right. Penn State too high. How is Penn State ranked above Georgia? How? Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee should probably be 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is probably 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Probably. Well, I would take Texas over Tennessee. Yeah. Georgia should be number 1. I don't care. Maybe I'm biased, and I could be biased. But there's no way Oregon is number 1 with the schedule they played. Ohio State should be number 2 with the schedule they played. Texas could be number 1. They've played a solid schedule. not as good as Georgia, but they play a good schedule. Indiana has been probably the most dominant team on this list as far as who they played and how they dominated those teams. Penn State, get them out of here. Georgia should be higher. Ole Miss should be higher. All these, Notre Dame's really did. They really did. Georgia still should be number one, but to be fair, I wouldn't be mad if they ranked Ole Miss over Georgia. I wouldn't be mad if anybody ranked Ole Miss over Georgia. I wouldn't be, because they absolutely dog walked us, boy. They